Welcome to this week's Artist on Art. I am your hostess, Nada Milkovich, and it's my great pleasure to be here with Daniel. Daniel Christopher is here, and because I don't remember his name does not mean that I haven't known him for a couple of years now, and I'm really excited to have him here in the studio to talk about his digital art, because Daniel is a digital artist, and he does amazing light works, digital light works, video, interactive. Mm-hmm. Like, I trigger things and I make it happen. Mm-hmm. I am participating in your artwork. And weren't you just doing an installation here at the Santa Cruz Museum of Art and History?
That's right, yeah. This last Friday, I was participating in a group show organized by Nina Simon and Stacey Garcia down at the MA, and it was fantastic. It was really fun to be a part of it. Unfortunately, it rained, so the outdoor elements had to be postponed. But next Friday, 23rd, they're going to have Glow 2, which will also be doing some live video projections outside, along with the Dancernauts, who are a live dance troupe.
Now, whoa, Daniel, are you telling me, because I was out of town this last Friday, which was the third Friday, whatever you would want to call it, shindig, that our wonderful, fabulous museum is doing every first and third Friday, folks. Party happening down at the MA, across the street from Trader Joe's.
That's right. You get a second chance, you know.
You get a second chance this Friday. This coming Friday.
After finals, you have no excuse not to be there.
That's right. It's going to be awesome. And it's a bunch of fire performers.
Fire spinning, LED hula hoopers.
Oh, I love that.
Burning Man art cars on genies with DJs and just craziness. All kind of digital goodness. So
doors open at 5 to 9.
About 5 to 10.
And there's a very minimal charge for students. I know. I don't know if maybe
$3 for students, $5 for general.
We're not supposed to mention that. You'll have to call for more information, or you could go to Artist on Art, because I'll have all the information there. ArtistOnArt.com. I'll have the video of Monsieur Daniel Christopher talking about this wonderful exhibition that you're putting on this coming April 28th is going to be the first day. Let me get my cheat sheet. So, Daniel, the name of your project is Into the Light?
Journey Through Light.
Journey Through Light. And this is a part of the Digital Arts and New Media MFA graduates yearly exhibition that happens at the DARC, the Digital Arts Research Center, here on campus, right across from the museums and in front of the art barns. And yeah, please.
One thing, a lot of people I find don't really know where the DARC is, the Digital Art Research Center. So next time you guys are walking by the music recital hall, or you happen to be in the visual arts area, it is that big gray building right there on your left, as the music recital hall is on your right. And coming towards the show, the opening of the show, which is April 28th, you'll start to see some blinky lights outside the building at night. So be sure to walk by at night.
You gotta love digital arts. Got a lot of blinky blink, touchy-feely stuff. So, Daniel Christopher, you've shown work here at the Museum of Art and History and at the Felix Culpa Gallery, fabulous gallery right next to, right across the street, right behind Streetlight Records here in town. And you've been doing a First Fridays in Santa Cruz. Mm-hmm. And you are focusing on creating opportunities for surprise and joy with interactive digital installations. Mm-hmm. You got your started at Rutgers. Interestingly enough, you didn't study art, though, huh? You studied philosophy and political science. Political science, which Sabrina Habel also was a political...
Yeah, she studied international affairs. Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to me that artists are coming with the whole movement of conceptual art, that it's not necessary to go have a Bachelor's of Arts to get your MFA. You can come from very diverse backgrounds. What made you go into digital arts?
Well, I guess, just to backtrack for a second, I think you see, especially in our program, a lot of people coming from different backgrounds, and it's like a push for this interdisciplinary environment where you're really critically examining the social function of art, not just something for aesthetics or whatnot. So
But aesthetics it's involved.
Oh, of course, but it's not just about the way something looks. It's also how something functions in the social context of the piece and where it functions, physically and or digitally. But to answer your question, got my start in digital art. I was doing video production and music before college too. So I'd really been an artist, like a practicing artist, doing sound work before college. And I kept going through college, but I decided not to study art or music formally just because I was really interested by politics when I got to school, and I just really followed my interests and passions, and I found that I was able to do both. I was able to do art, but also, studying philosophy and political science was really useful for just critical reading and writing, and I find that that's really useful for kind of digging deeper to understand conceptually what's going on in my art. It's kind of like unearthing these beliefs and concepts that are there, but it's just trying to really extract them. It's a painful process. It's like giving birth, although I've never given birth before, so I can't say.
Getting your MFA is about as hard, having experienced giving birth to live puppies here.
Well, I'll take your word for it. Considering that you graduated from DANM program in 2009 too, so and you've given birth to 2 children, so.
Well, it's interesting that it's 3 trimesters that you go through for your last year, that last push, that last 9 months. And it's funny that you mentioned that because Heather Logas is going to be on after for Gamers on Game, who's also a DANMite, and she just had a baby. Congratulations to Heather, and also congratulations to Jolie Ruel, who also had a beautiful child. Oh yeah, this wonderful cohort this year got to go through 2 pregnant ladies while having the extraordinary experience of going through such an interdisciplinary, sounds wonderful, but golly lolly, it could be awfully hard.
Yeah, I have a tremendous respect for those women too, and they're just in there working every day, and it's wonderful to have the children around too. We have other children, and it's just nice to have it kind of be like a family-oriented environment in the grad lab. So it's tremendous respect for them. I can't imagine what it's like. I feel like I have it hard, I'm like, I'm working so much, and then it's like I have a family too. Come on, so yeah, a lot of respect.
So Daniel Christopher is here talking about his work. Having studied philosophy, I was just having this conversation with Dr. Paul Lee, who was on a couple weeks ago, who is an ancient Greek philosopher. How much of that did you use? Because I know at Rutgers you study some ancient Greeks, don't you? Or?
Oh yeah, definitely. I took an ancient Greek philosophy class or two. You study the classics, Plato, Aristotle,
Heraclitus.
A little bit, I'm not so much into the Greek plays and stuff, but, just the classics, reading the classics and stuff, yeah.
And did you find this, what I was saying with Paul in my conversation was that it was, for me, studying, I also got a bachelor's in philosophy in my undergraduate,
Oh, I didn't know that.
at Purdue University.
Okay.
I felt like I was, because I saw a lot of people studying psychology as a way to get to know themselves. But if you're studying abnormal psychology, it kind of makes you a little crazy. And I thought it was safer to do philosophy, and that I got to really learn about what my moral compass is. What do I believe in? And you're saying it's painful to go through that experience, but you know more who you are now, right? And who you want to be. Maybe.
Well, honestly, I'm glad that you had that experience because I had the complete opposite one. I feel like I went into the program to try to discover what my underlying beliefs were, but I actually ended up having more questions than I had before.
But that's philosophy too, because the more you think you know, the less you know. Really.
Down the rabbit hole you go.
Yeah.
It was tremendously interesting though, just like...
Are we really here?
Are we here?
Are we really? Can we really, truly justifiably believe that we are here happening right now?
Is there external reality outside of our own perception?
Exactly.
I think so.
Anyways, so that's a great way, it's a great foundation to come into digital arts and new media. And what kind of questions are you asking with your art practice?
So what I'm asking now, what I'm really concerned with, is alienation in general, caused by communication technologies. Now, I'm not claiming that alienation is the result of technology, communication technologies in recent history. Although I think you can trace the genealogy of alienation in human civilization to primitive agricultural technologies. So you think about, and I was talking about this with Newton and Helen Harrison, who are on my committee, and they're trying to get me to realize the beginning of when humans were
beginning to feel alienated from one another.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to the birth of civilization, where you have occupational specialization and people starting to get specialized in, and then you have like like agricultural technologies all causing surplus of food, and then people are able to get, it's a familiar story, right? People are getting more specialized in their jobs, and what that causes is less time with the group and less, I guess you would say, scanning or having a range of skills. You just have a very specific skill. And I think that technology was the beginning of causing people to just sit in front of a desk for a really long time and not have communication with those around them. So, that's going back. But now what I'm concerned with and what I'm examining in my thesis paper is the beginning of when our social interaction started to change, which I like to point to 1997 when AOL Instant Messenger came out. And at the time, I was a teenager, so I remember the introduction of this technology. I remember my friends saying, I need to get an IM chat and a buddy list and all these things. And then feeling very disconnected in this, what I like to call its disembodied form. I'm communicating with my friends via text, and it's not instant, it's not real time, because someone can go be making a sandwich while and they respond to you. It's not like you're having a phone call or even a video chat. So what I'm trying to do is distinguish between modes of indirect and direct social interaction, and then embodied and disembodied. And just get people to realize that if you are engaging too much in a disembodied form with other people, then you look at them as abstractions. You look at the world not as, this is my immediate environment, but you're looking at it through this like technological mediation. I think it's pretty dangerous for us for a whole variety of reasons.
Now, Daniel, you have a specific problem, Daniel Christopher, that I think maybe piqued this kind of obsession with you, because you got to be obsessed when you're writing your MFA, or it's not going to work.
I'd say angry might be angry, obsessed. Yeah, those things.
And it has to do with Facebook.
That's right.
What happened?
Okay, 2004. I'm a freshman in college, right? Facebook comes out. It's great. Everyone's friending each other and telling each other about events and all these things. It was actually a special time to be in college, right? I remember freshman year in the dorm room. It's like this big blue banner, in everybody's rooms. And I had it all through college. And then as I left college in 2008, I really started to think about the technology itself, because I realized there's a lot of people using this technology and they don't understand how it works. They don't know the terms of service. And then I started investigating, all the public information about all of the abuses and privacy infringements and stuff, and just really interested in the case of Facebook. But I think there's two big problems, if I may say, that I have with Facebook. One is this false promise of connectedness. It says, we're going to connect the world, we're going to connect everybody, and everyone's going to be one big connected family, everything's public, right? I disagree with this, because I feel like you're not more connected. You're omnisciently browsing and looking around at what everyone else is doing, and you're not interacting with them. And I think it creates an epistemic crisis in that you don't know, as a person who's posting information, right? You don't know who's looked at your information. So if you say, let's just say, like you did, you just went on a skiing trip, right? So you post pictures from your skiing trip. You don't know how many of your friends have looked at pictures of your skiing trip. So when you say, let's meet up with your friends for coffee the next day after the weekend, you say, how was your weekend? You don't know if they already saw your pictures and if they're going to be leading into, and then if they did see your pictures, then perhaps it's construed as creepy that they're even bringing that up. So it creates this whole range of problems.
It's interesting you say this, Danielle, that you bring this up, because right when I got on Facebook, right away, I said something like, boy, hectic day, super busy. Mm-hmm. And then one of my friends wrote back, funny you had time for yoga. And she had been in the yoga class and decided not to say hi to me. And I hadn't seen her in the yoga class. And then I was like, well, yeah, I was super busy, but now I've got to defend myself because I gave myself the time so that I'd be better during my busyness to do my yoga. And I was like instantly like guilty and like feeling, what's the word? Put upon in a way like trolled is why they say the word troll, right? Mm-hmm. People that just go on and look but never interact. They just watch. Mm-hmm. And I was just having this conversation with an older gentleman who tells me he goes on Facebook, he watches everything I do, but he never says anything. Yeah. And so I wouldn't know. These are really big concerns. Yeah. The whole online management, identity management, is something that is super scary. And kids don't realize when you put those pictures up that you thought was really fun because you were drunk last Saturday and decided to flash everybody, that is going to haunt you for how long? And how do I say that to my kids without them going, yeah, mama, yow, yow,
well,
yow,
also, it's important for the kids to realize that, well, not just kids, but everyone, that the internet is written in ink, and that does not go away. No matter if you delete it, if you even commit what they call Web 2.0 suicide, which is hilarious to me, which is you can take your whole digital persona and erase it via Web 2.0 suicide machine, and they still have your information. And there's just a lot of problems. I could literally sit here and talk all day, but I'd just like to bring up that there's this idea that you're omnisciently browsing and nobody else knows what you're actually seeing. It's this weird situation where, I mean, it just breaks my heart to go into to see a library, go into the library here at a college campus where people should be talking to each other and engaging, and you just see blue banners across the entire library. Everybody is just talking to each other via this website. I just get really fired up about it. It just upsets me. And people in my program think it's really funny that, when I bring this concern, they're like, oh, that's just Daniel being all crazy and fanatical. But I take this really seriously. I'm very, very upset by it.
Right. Well, I think I would never, I couldn't say that you're being alarmist at all. In fact, there was an artist that came in, Elian Hassan. You want to come in? This is Heather Lagos. You wouldn't mind sitting in with us?
Hey,
Heather
welcome.
Lagos is in the studio. She's a little early, but it's better to talk with a couple people than. But Daniel and I were just talking about online identity issues, and if you wouldn't mind grabbing the microphone too, and letting Heather have no, you take the microphone too.
I'll take this.
Yeah,
and then she gets this. Okay.
There you go. Okay. And so there was an artist, Elian Hassan, who came to UCSC to speak in the Digital Arts and New Media program. He's a professor. I'm not sure exactly.
He was actually at Rutgers. Sorry, talking about Hassan Alahi?
Hassan Alahi, who, did you see him speak? Do you know about his artwork?
I met him at the CAA conference, but I do know his work tracking transients, which is...
He has a really interesting situation where he was picked up as a terrorist. So, he had a terrible experience and was in the wrong side of the FBI list, and had to check in with his FBI, and because he's an international artist, he flies all the time, and he was constantly being taken into the back room because he didn't even know he was on the list, and he has this horrible experience.
Yeah.
And so what he's decided to do is to use Facebook as a way to let his friends track him and know that he hasn't been picked up by the FBI and stuck in isolation like it had happened to him.
But also, I think he was throwing it back in their face, saying, look, here's every sandwich that I've eaten. Here's every bathroom that I use. Say, you want to know where I am? Here we go.
Airplane food, that was his thing. Every toilet that he saw on his trips, so that he can make sure that, FBI, you guys know where I'm at. And friends of mine, you know where I'm at. You know that I'm supposed to be back home on this date, and if I'm not back home, call the FBI. Because I know it's so sad, but he's using this technology in a protective way.
It's a method of self-preservation.
But that's because he's savvy about it. And if you don't understand that you've got to protect yourself online, your online identity is your online identity. It's your digital avatar in a way.
Totally.
And if somebody wants to smear it, what are you going to do about it? There's not much. I mean, you hear these terrible stories about people saying, oh, this person, because they've got some, oh, maybe you smiled at the girl's boyfriend, and so suddenly she's, I mean, really, it could be that petty. Yeah. So, Daniel, I'm with you. Sweet. And what's interesting is that your art installation, Journey Through Light, is talking about this.
Well, yeah. So, the beginning of the art experience is during the MFA thesis show. You'll come into the Light Lab, which I'll be sharing with Heather, and also Helen Park. And when you walk in, if you wish to engage with my work, you will need to exchange your cell phone for an object. And the reason for this is because it's a symbolic act saying, I'm committed to an embodied social experience. I'm not going to be taking pictures and posting them. I'm not going to be texting my friends and telling them how awesome this exhibit is or how much it sucks. I'm going to be committed to meeting other people and exploring my immediate surroundings, not mediated by anything that my cell phone can.
So this is a real act of faith. that people give up their cell phones. Because I got to tell you, I lost my cell phone for a couple hours a couple days ago, and it scared the bejesus out of me. I was like, it was like I'd lost my child or something. I was like, oh, where's my iPhone? Oh.
I'm not going to lose your phone, you know? It's just collateral.
But I'm just saying, it's something I love. I mean, it's really that Donna Haraway, cyber thing. It's become a part of just like my eyeglasses.
But here's the question. Can you give it up for temporarily, Can you let go of it?
Well, because I like you so much, of course.
Thanks.
I'm not trying to make small of your...
I understand, but here's the other thing. If people don't want to give up their cell phone, I don't really care. Because if they're not willing to give it up, then they're going to miss out, and it's no sweat off my back. So, I mean, I'm not trying to engage every person who walks in the door, and that's another thing. I think when people look about masks, I'm serious. I'm not I
love it.
I don't really need to engage with every single person, and I learned this lesson last Friday at Glow. If a few people experience and understand it and take the time to engage with it, that means everything to me. I don't need to engage every single person who might be in the market, for being able to experience something. And half the time, people have really short attention spans anyways. So you know what? If you have a short attention span, don't look at my artwork then.
It's kind of hard to look at any artwork, really. Right? It's got to be... Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about going to museums is taking the time to really experience it and just flying by like the Louvre, and giving yourself 3 seconds for every masterpiece. What are you going to get out of it?
Then again,
a headache.
Yeah, you can't control what people are going to do, and so
all right,
it's up to them.
Daniel Christopher. He is our graduating DANMite, and boy, it's been a lot of fun talking to you. You're going to be back at the MA this Friday. Mm-hmm. All of those people that missed out, such as myself last Friday, the big glow is happening again due to rain. Thank you, gods. And tell us just a little bit real quick. There's going to be, you're going to be doing your work there, right?
No, so next Friday. This coming Friday. March 23rd, we are going to be back at the MA outside doing some live visuals with this dance troupe, the Dancetronauts. So me, Jesse Folden, who's also a graduating DANM student, and some previous DANM students, Drew Detweiler, who helped organize the event as well, and Dustin Raphael will be doing some collaborative visuals there. And but my thesis work will not be shown there. It'll just be...
I didn't think it was. I know that your other work was going to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what do you call that?
Oh, it's just live video mixing. I'll also have some other light sculptures too in the entrances, but those are just to test the durability of them in a live setting. So really, there won't be any presentation of my actual work, which consists of these dispersed sculptures. Sculpture sites. Those will be installed in about a month. So right in time for the MFA thesis show. Right
on, which is going to be April 28th and 29th. And then again, the next weekend, May 3rd through 6th, the reception, the big old hot party happening thing is May 4th from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. The gallery hours are 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Listen, folks, you want to get there early because last year I barely got in. I was there like 6 or 7, and it was massive. People were let's just falling off the terrace.
Let's just say that one more time because, guys, you're not going to want to miss this. The reception, first weekend of May, you're going to want to check this work out for sure.
May 4th, 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. in the dark, and as Daniel was saying, that's the big old concrete building right behind, in front of the music building, and in front of the art barns over in the theater department, that whole part.
Right in the heart of visual arts.
West side of the campus. And the name of the exhibition, the overall arching theme is I've Got Something on Your Mind. And Daniel's going to be showing his journey through light. Daniel, quickie here, last minute. One word or one phrase for each of your other DANMites, and we're going to leave Heather Logos at the end, of course. Sabrina Habel.
Just one word, just spectacular. Everything's spectacular.
James Pollock.
One word, tough for James.
Okay, all right.
But
phrase.
He is developing I would say an interactive world based on WebGL technology.
I see a lot of snails in his thing. You gotta run down. You have to
little creatures.
Yeah, like little creatures that you have to go down the form of the sculpture so that you can bring it back into your gallery space. Jesse Fulton.
So there's been a lot of mystery surrounding Jesse's project, and I'll leave one half in the dark. But I will say,
it's all in the dark.
I knew that was coming. Okay, Jesse's project takes on a very serious issue in his portion called Everybody's Google, which is basically the idea of Google's search personalization. And I was actually talking about this in one of my sections last week, and a lot of people aren't really aware of what that really means. It's the idea that net neutrality is now gone, and Google is going to tailor search results based around what it thinks you want to see. So there's no idea of neutrality. Really serious issue.
KZSC Santa Cruz. Alexei Orthanin Gerard.
So Alexei came on the show a couple weeks ago, super eloquent, and I'll just say mystery. But contact him if you want to get involved with his game.
That's right.
I would love to be involved in the game. It's just, right now, not great timing.
Yeah, you're too busy,
yeah, but
Daniel.
Second run, I'm in.
Jolie Ruel.
So Jolie, congratulations once again on her baby. And she has been working very hard since day one on a 5-minute animation. So stop motion animation. She's designed sets and she's done everything herself. And she's done acting where she's superimposing her eyes over the character itself. So we've seen a lot of clips and we're all really excited for it.
Excellent. Helen Park.
Helen Park, I haven't seen the actual work. She's been back and forth between New York. She's working in New York on a site-specific piece there. But she, with dealing with issues of immigration, youth, and in Brooklyn, and she's doing a site-specific installation there. But there will be a representation of it with me and Heather's work in the Light Lab.
Right on. Okay. Emily Martinez.
Okay, so Emily's project is very complex. I will just say, to simplify it in terms of a description, you put on an EEG brainwave sensor, and based on your brainwaves, it's going to trip you out.
Nice.
So Emily would seriously hit me if she heard that right now. But it's basically it's like a feedback of the, if I may interpret it, it's a feedback of a lot, like just media from all angles, and how it basically, you're just getting fed back this in a loop of, like, I don't know, I'm not explaining this very well at all. It's really complex.
So you're listening to KZSC Santa Cruz Free Range Community Radio. This is commercial free radio at the far left of your radio dial. KZSC thanks Good Times for supporting this program. Established in 1975, Good Times is published free every Thursday and is distributed at over 650 locations countywide. Good Times features a comprehensive and complete guide to what's happening in Santa Cruz, including the local music scene, dining guide, movie times for the week, and the latest on live theater and the arts. Good Times also covers important issues confronting the county and the people who make Santa Cruz such a great place to live, work, and play. Good Times is available free every Thursday, or find them online at goodtimesantacruz.com. All right, we're back. Two more. Duncan Bausman.
Interactive fiction.
Interactive fiction, right on. And Natalie McKeever.
So Natalie's been working on a piece. I've been working with her a lot in the prototyping lab. Former DANM student Levi Goldman has really been helping both of us with fabrication, some really interesting mixing of materials like fiberglass, silicones, and resins. And Natalie's been there late nights at the solder station, at the, up in the prototyping lab. So I'm interested to see her work. And she's making a helmet that will impart a sense of, like, animal heartbeats, and we'll visualize that as well.
That's right. I've been working on her video. That'll be up very soon on artistonart.com and gamersongame.com.
Great.
This helmet thing sounds really cool. And if you want to hear any part of this broadcast, you can go to artistonart.com. And if you want to hear from the last weeks and the whole series of DANMites, hopefully I'm going to get you all this year. 2012. Yeah.
Hey, can I just say thanks to a couple people real fast?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So, want to thank awesome committee members. Newton and Helen Mayer Harrison have been amazing. Beth Stevens has been really supportive. And Peter Elsey is also he's on my committee, I guess, unofficially. He's been supporting me since day one, and he's very sagacious and been helping me with all of my programming and electronics.
I was just talking to him today on Internet Disembodied Way, but go ahead.
Oh, he's awesome. And I have to really throw out a big shout out to Ace Levenberg and Aiden Sane, who are 2 undergraduate students in computer science who have been helping me since the beginning of the year really try to miniaturize our microprocessors, and they're both really hardworking guys, also potential DANM students in the future. And I'd like to thank Levi Goldman, Dustin Raphael, and Joe Cantrell, former DANM students who have really helped with the electronics and programming as well. Really complex project. Big thank you to Sudhu Tawari, who is also a really accomplished artist. She's in the music department and also unofficially in DANM, who has been helping me with the electronics as well. Big thank you to Lyle Troxel, whose birthday it is today. Happy birthday, Lyle! What's up? And then Felicia Rice, Soraya Murray, Lily Alexander, Warren Sack, everybody at DANM. And then also Brian and Mario in the wood shop. I bother them all the time and hang out there. It's a really great spot. Thank you to DANM and UCSC. I love this place so much. And to you, Nada. It's been great to be here.
Hey, you know what? Right before you take off, Daniel, Christopher, Heather Logos, give us a phrase for her work as she sits next to you looking at you.
Gaming workshop, right? That's what you're doing?
Game workshop.
Gaming workshop.
All right. Well, listen, thank you so much, Daniel.
It's great to be here. Thank you so much, Nada.
Oh, my pleasure.
I love this place. I mean, it's like the Ewok village right here. I had never been over it. No, for real. I mean, seriously, I'm just going to hang out here for a while if I may and just look through your records and stuff.
Well, actually, you can't do that. You can sit right here, though. No, I'm not joking. Anyways, everybody stay tuned for Heather Logos and Gamers on